By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to become a millionaire in the AI industry. You're going to know exactly what you need to do and exactly what skills you need. You're going to have a proven roadmap to follow. But first off, who am I to be telling you all of this? Well, my name is Scott Parsons and I own the largest sales training and recruitment business in the AI industry. I am deep in the trenches of AI. I'm talking to AI founders daily and placing multiple clients weekly into top tier sales roles with great AI businesses. And I can tell you guys for a fact that you are just one skill away from unlocking a 10 to 30,000 per month income in the AI industry. And as crazy as it might seem, you are just two skills away from unlocking a 100,000 per month income in the AI industry. And that's what this video is for. It's designed to give you absolute clarity on exactly what you need to do, exactly what skills you need, and a proven roadmap to follow to capitalize on the AI gold rush and make life-changing money over the coming months and years. So very exciting times. Let's dive in. Those of you who know me will know that I am a big believer in the power of clarity. Specifically, knowing exactly what it is that you want, exactly where you're going, and exactly how you're going to get there. And that's what this video is for. Is to give you clarity, it's to give you a roadmap to follow so that you know not only exactly where you're going, but also how you're going to get there as well. So let's dive in. The outcome of this video is that I'm going to walk you through the specific roadmap to follow in order to get to the income, lifestyle, and goals that you want. Now, diving in, guys, this is called the two skills. And as crazy as it might seem, you are one skill away from making 10 to 30,000 a month, from having a multi six-figure per year income. And again, it might sound crazy, it might be outside of some people's paradigms, but it's true that you are two skills away from having a multi seven-figure per year income, millionaire status. Now as we're going to go through the video, you're going to see exactly what skills you need at each stage, and then what skill to layer on top in order to unlock the next level of income. That really is how it works. You layer one skill, so you get one skill, it will take your income to a certain amount. Then when you layer on top another skill, it's going to unlock the next level of income for you. So the first level, let's go one by one. The first level is closer. So that's what we do in this space. As you know, you're going to find out in a lot more depth as you carry on throughout this program. Our job title, if you will, is called closers. Okay, we are here to close deals and collect cash for AI businesses. Now, at this level, the skill that you need it's a pretty obvious one, right? It's closing. You need to know how to close. And when you have this skill, you will unlock a 10 to 30,000 a month income. By the way, when I say 30,000 a month, you can absolutely go beyond that. You know, there absolutely are closers out there that are doing 35, even 40,000 a month plus. But 30 is 10 to 30 is about the range. Okay, again, it's not a set rule. You know, you can go above 30. But call it 10 to 30K a month. And ultimately at this level, guys, what you need is you need to be able to consistently close deals. And importantly as well, to really say that you've got this skill, you need to be able to close deals from cold traffic. Now, for those of you who might not know what that means, warm traffic and cold traffic, the difference is warm traffic is somebody who knows a lot about you. You know, maybe they have already bought from you, maybe they've bought a lower price product from you. Whereas cold traffic is somebody that's essentially knows nothing about you. You know, maybe they've seen an advert online, maybe they've watched one YouTube video, they've booked in a call, and here they are. That's cold traffic versus warm, where they already know, like, and trust you. And again, to say that you really got that skill of closing, you need to be able to close deals from cold traffic. Once you can do that, once you can consistently close deals from cold traffic, again, you unlock a 10 to 30K a month income. But there is another level, level 2, and I put here that this is optional. I'll explain more about what this means because you can skip this step. But level 2, so once you've got that closing skill, if you also layer on top the skill of sales management, so skills needed at this range are closing plus hiring, managing, and training, you will unlock an income level of 30 to more like 50,000 a month. Now, at this level, you need to be able to consistently close deals from cold traffic, which is closing. If you can then layer on top the skill of effectively hiring, managing, and training a sales team, again, that's when you unlock an even higher level of income. So typically, by the way, guys, in this space, a sales manager, a leader of a sales team, is typically on a base salary of around about low six figures, around about 100 to 150,000 a year, plus typically bonuses, plus the big one is profit share. So you can actually get a slice of the company's profits. And again, this is really what unlocks that, 40, 50,000 a month income. Again, when I say 50, you're not capped there. There are sales managers in this space that earn more than that, but again, that's about, roughly right, 30 to 50, comprising of a low six-figure a year salary, around about 10, 12,000 a month, plus bonuses, plus profit share. And profit share is really, really where you make the big money as a sales manager. And what you can do, guys, there's basically two routes that you can go with sales management. You can either manage a sales team full-time under one business, or you do what's called fractional sales management, where you work across multiple sales teams. You lead multiple sales teams. Again, you'll typically be on a base salary of around about 10, 12,000 a month plus profit share. Now, here's where we unlock the big money, though, the next level, level 3, where you are the business owner, you are the offer owner. So to very quickly recap, by this point, you've got the skill of closing, so you can basically show up to a Zoom call and close a deal from cold traffic, meaning somebody that's only just found out about you. Maybe you've optionally layered on top the skill of sales management, so hiring, managing, and training. But then what you can do is, bearing in mind, guys, you can already close deals from cold traffic, right? You can close deals over a Zoom call. But then if you can layer on top the skill of appointment booking, so you know how to drive cold traffic to a Zoom call, again, that's when you unlock the big money. That's when you unlock not 6 figures a year, but 7 figures a year. I'm talking over 100,000 a month. And if you think about it, guys, it's really so simple, right? It's so simple. First off, you know how to close deals from cold traffic. So typically you're selling on behalf of another company. They do all the marketing. They drive people to a Zoom appointment with you, and you can close the deal. But once you know how to yourself drive people to a Zoom call and close them, again, you unlock the big, big money. So like I put here, if you know how to close high ticket deals over Zoom and you know how to drive cold traffic to a Zoom call, it's where your life completely changes. Complete financial abundance, complete financial security, the life of your dreams, essentially. But there is another level beyond that as well. Level 4, and this is, where we really unlock just the wild money, the crazy money. Now, at this level, bearing in mind, by this point, you've got the skill of closing, you've got the skill of sales management, you've got the skill of appointment booking, you know how to drive people to a Zoom call. The next level is where you layer on top a few more skills and take your income to more like 500,000 plus a month. So rather than low 7 figures a year, you take it to more like multi 7 figures a year, maybe even 8 figures a year. So at this level, you need to be able to consistently book appointments, so drive strangers to a Zoom call with you. But you also need to be an effective leader. Because at this point, at this stage, this is why I say you need to layer on top the skill of leadership. Because at this stage, you're not as much managing a team like the day-to-day, you're managing managers. So at this point, you would have a sales manager in place, you would have maybe a marketing manager, maybe an operations manager, a finance manager, and you are managing the managers, which is leadership. So again, you need to be an effective leader. You need to know how to effectively hire and manage A players, very, very important at this stage. And then you need to have a genuinely good product. To give you guys an idea, when I was working in high-ticket closing and high-ticket sales, I worked on 3 main teams throughout my career. All of them were doing over 1 million per month. All of them had a genuinely good product. And that's no coincidence that, all of those guys doing, big, big numbers, over 10 million a year, all of them had good product. It's essentially, it's a necessity at this point. If you want to unlock this kind of money, again, it's a necessity. You need to have a good product. Your reputation really does count. Word spreads quickly, and you need to have a good product. So once to clarify, you know how to close deals over Zoom, which in the initial stages you're typically doing it for somebody else, another company. Then you layer on top the skill of sales management, so you can effectively hire, manage, and train. Then you layer on top the skill of being able to drive people to a Zoom appointment with you. Then you layer on top the skill of leadership, so you know how to manage the managers, essentially. Then you know how to build a genuinely good product that gives a good customer experience, that gets your clients great results. That is when you unlock, just the complete life-changing money, complete financial abundance. And by the way, the benchmark here for a good product is, I call it, if you have about 90% plus positive reviews, customer satisfaction, maybe you do internal customer feedbacks, surveys. once you're hitting 90% positive, you can pretty confidently say that you've got a good product. Obviously, in business, it's difficult to get 100%. There is a level of, you can have a great product, but ultimately it is also down a little bit to the individual that's going through your product, their particular character traits, etc. You could have the best product in the world with the best information in the world, the best service, the best customer experience. But if the person consuming the product is just very lazy and they don't actually do anything, then obviously, they're not going to get great results, which is why I say 90%. Doesn't have to be 100%. But when you've got 90%, there's always going to be outliers. There's always going to be people who, again, maybe don't put in the work, and that's fine. But yeah, 90% is where you can confidently say, I've got a good product. And that's essentially it, guys. So, if you really think about, like, in the rawest form, how simple it is, you know how to close high-ticket deals over a Zoom call. Once you can then layer on top, you yourself knowing how to drive strangers to a Zoom call with you. Again, this is where you can unlock the big money. This is when you can be closing deals for your own business, making multiple thousands a day. But, by the way, some people might not want to do that. You might just want to, close for a good company, sell for a great business, make 10, 20, 30,000 a month, simply by taking Zoom calls and just enjoy life. You might want that, and that's totally fine. Other people, might be have that ambition to eventually be the business owner, to sell your own product and service, and again, really unlock the big money, the 100,000 a month plus. Some of you might just want to be, a sales manager. So you might have ambitions to make the big money, the 30, 40, 50,000 a month, but you don't want to deal with the headache and the stress of running a business, but you would be happy to manage a sales team, and that's absolutely fine. By the way, just the last point here, when I say that this is optional, sales management, it's because you can skip. Like, you can go from just, closing, you're making 10, 30K a month. A lot of people do this, you can just go straight to then launching your own product, launching your own business, essentially, and driving people to a Zoom call with you and skipping sales management. Other people want to do it a little more linearly. First they're doing closing, then they end up managing the team, then they go on to start their own business. Totally up to yourself. But hopefully, guys, this has provided you with some clarity about exactly, what we're going to be focusing on. In the next video, we're going to set very specific financial goals because, again, the real foundation of success is clarity, knowing exactly what you want. It's very rare that somebody just stumbles into making, tons of money and living the life of their dreams. Don't get me wrong, obviously, like, it can happen, people can win the lottery or whatever, but it's pretty rare. If you speak to most successful people, most people making the big money, most people living the life of their dreams, it was normally almost always intentional. They meant to get there. So hopefully, guys, that has provided you guys with some clarity. Again, in the next lesson, we're going to be setting very specific financial goals, and this is so important for a number of reasons. It's so important to have clarity on exactly what you want. It's going to increase your chances of success, as we're going to talk about more in the next lesson and throughout the mindset module. But clarity is so important, guys, and I hope that this video has given you a little bit of clarity around the roadmap that you need to follow, what skills that you need, and then when you layer on top more skills, exactly what level of income that unlocks. So it's been an absolute pleasure. I will see you in the next lesson.